Now, last thing before we get to our interview with Will Miles of the Read and Reaction, this is what we were hitting at on the last episode with Cousin Shane. Tennessee officially lands Brew McCoy, the receiver from Southern Cal, former five-star prospect in the 2019 recruiting cycle. And he's had a weird journey, man. I mean, I believe if I have this timeline right, he committed to USC, and then he flipped late to Texas, enrolled at Texas, and then about a month in said, hell, I want to go back to USC Southern Cal. Goes back. He had to sit out a year. Then his first year on the field was the COVID season. You know, hell, they only played about 5 or 6 games there. In his true freshman year, he got 21 passes, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, in 6 games. He was playing with some future NFL receivers. He was buried on the depth chart, but still making plays for the Trojans. And then last season, he didn't play at all. I think he had some kind of charges that were later dismissed. So you don't really know what you're getting in Brew McCoy. He's a very, very physical player. 24/7 Sports rates Brew McCoy as the number 2 overall prospect in the transfer portal. So it should give you an idea, if you're a Tennessee fan, of what your expectation level should be. But again, this is a guy that's, he's not really put it all together and done it on the field. But they've had quarterback issues at Southern Cal. They've had serious coaching issues at Southern Cal. Now he's going into a Tennessee program with an elite play caller, an elite quarterback. And here's the beauty of it. Brew McCoy doesn't even need to be your number 1 because you got Cedric Tillman, who's likely going to be a preseason All-American on the outside. You just need him to be an outstanding number 2. And we may be cooking with something here in Knoxville with all these receivers and weapons Hendon Hooker's got surrounding him. They're on Rocky Top. So, this could be a huge, huge pickup for Tennessee. If they can get the most out of Brew McCoy, this may be the most underrated pickup yet of the offseason in the SEC. And the Vols may not be done just yet either, because former Central Florida receiver Jalen Robinson set to visit Tennessee for an official visit. Robinson left Central Florida this offseason via the transfer portal. Didn't have a great season playing in Gus Malzahn's offense, but in 2020, Josh Heupel's last year down there at UCF, 55 catches, 979 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So Jalen Robinson, this news was first reported by, let's give this guy a shout out, Matthew Ray, Sports Illustrated, friend of the show. So credit Matt for landing this news. But Jalen Robinson, maybe add him to the offense. I mean, my goodness, how many receivers could Tennessee have next season? And they ain't going to turn any down, particularly one like Robinson, who's played in Josh Heupel's system, knows it, can come in immediately and play. I should have mentioned Brew McCoy's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. I believe Robinson's got 2. So these aren't necessarily one-and-done players either. But, man, just when we thought Tennessee was going to have a lethal offense, it may be getting significantly better with all these transfer portal additions.